Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, just want to welcome you for the first time and do want to let you know that we have videos on the regular, daily, in fact, a tutorial and a trailer or feature preview, whatever. That's typically how it goes. Sometimes it's one videos, but yeah, more or less, you can expect daily videos if you are, this is your first time here. Cool. And so, yeah, and for the y'all who are, for those of you who are returning and this is your second, third, or, whatever, X many times, yo, universe bless you. Thank you so much for helping to keep the channel growing and going. Really, really important to help feed the algorithm that the channel is still engaging and that people are watching it and liking it and are interested in the content. So thank you so much for your viewership. And yeah, if you want to stay tuned to all the latest posts, videos, and things like that, subscribe, set your notifications to on, and all that good jazz. And so, okay, I have done my due diligence and spouted out, the marketing reel, so to speak, the marketing spiel. Now let's talk about our guy in a little bit. So this guy is Paleotrex, obviously, Quatro Paleotrex, in fact. There's something about Paleotrex and his lines. As you can see, the lines here, the horizontal lines that make him look kind of like mummy-like. That kind of give him this like regal feeling, and really when you're kind of taking a look at this figure, you can start developing this deep kind of appreciation for the color breakup that the creators used. You can see it goes from light to dark, dark to light, light to dark, and it's just really kind of cascading around him like this incredibly wonderful like chocolate chip cookie color. You know what I mean? It's really, really pleasing to the eyes to look at. The material, especially compared to spindle, is top notch. This is the first, so it hasn't, undergone a lot of like mold degradation yet, and just the chemical composition obviously is better than spindles, and so a lot of great things. Still my favorite fossilizer, still the one that I pack with me when I go somewhere. Like, yeah, he's it. And so over time, I have amassed like, dude, I think I have just Paleotrex itself, and not the what is it? Not the repaints and stuff. I have 9 Paleotrex figures. 4 of those are for giveaways. Actually, three because I already gave one away. But I have 5 natively, and I got them all like super cheap. I take that back. 3 I paid regular price, and because that's when they were first released. And 2 I got for like $11 or something like that. They're really, really cheap right now. And right now is a good time to troop build. P-Trex and not rack, but Wingfinger I often see on sale. But yeah. So if you're troop building, right now is a good time. And so in front, this is made of 4. And I think it looks really good. Sorry, it's really early morning right now, and I'm kind of losing my voice. He's using 4. And I think it looks really nice. There are certain aspects, actually, like the toes. I borrowed this from the spindle build that I made recently. Kind of like these legs. These are, kind of reminiscent of some other builds that I've done in the past. This thing over here too. So there's a lot of elements that I actually borrow from other builds that I put together cohesively kind of in this one unit. And I think it came out really, really solid. Yeah, lots of things to like about this guy. And so a lot of my creations, I don't create them with the mindset of making them posable. I could, but I don't. Because personally, I think that just kind of like limits me a little bit. I actually like them as statues. A lot of time, most of my toys are just statues kind of on my shelf, and this guy will be no different. And so let me bring him up into view a little bit. He's going to get a little blurry. But yeah, a lot of them are statues, and this guy is no different. Yeah, he has good articulation on the arms and stuff like that, but the legs, you can bend him at the knee, I believe. But the thigh, I could have made it movable, but I kind of locked it in place just because I feel like having a really, really good base on the legs is important. And you can see he's not falling apart, And so, yeah, let's take a look. Lots of cool stuff, How you can see how the masks, they almost like hug together here, this curvature. I think that's really nice, kind of. Yeah. And, I've used the Paleotrex dinosaur heads as like the leg contraption, but oftentimes I use them as toes. But instead, I'm just kind of using them as calves, almost like he has these like bulging like bicyclist calves on the back, and I think that's really neat. Yeah. So without further ado, let me see if I can break him down for you, and I think I can just crack him open at the hip. There we go. Look at that. That just plugs in nicely. These tails actually hug and flex, on the side of that dino skull, while that plugs into the peg right over here. And so this is really nice. Yeah. It almost looks like, you know, like it's a plug that it just plugs into the top. And I think that's really, really neat. So take a look at this leg. It originally did not have these parts, and the way they're connected is really, really unique. You see that there are two axe blades here, right? And so if I were to take this off, such a nice fit. Yeah, you can see how this leg is basically connected. There's one joint here and there's one joint here, but these two axe bits are not connected together. Yeah, the axe bits themselves are not connected together. They almost create this like swing hinge kind of doohickey, but yeah, it doesn't have a lot of back and forth motion. But yeah, that's a new kind of contraption that I was able to put together. So yeah, I discovered some new engineering tricks while I built this guy. And in terms of how he's made, I keep saying that, but yeah, as I go over him, I just see a lot of cool parts that I want to share with y'all. And the bottom part is not that difficult. So yeah, you know what? I'll just remove him here. Okay. So first, excuse me, this is the bottom half of the P-Trex. And like I said, it's using two axe bits to create the kind of pelvis area. The back one has the peg pointing up, the front one has the peg pointing downward, okay? And now you are going to fashion the leg like so. What you're doing is you're taking one of the axe bits with the dark point on top, and you are rotating that point 90 degrees. Let me see if I can get this a little bit better focus. Yeah, there we go. You're rotating that 90 degrees as far as you can. There's like the side with the bar, and then there's a side with like the design over here. So that design part, you want to have it facing outward. And then you're plugging in two of the heels, or two of the calves at the heels, and you're bending the knee. Oh man, I'm losing my voice. And you are basically bending this at the knee over here. Then you have the axe bit sandwiched by the thigh. And then you are basically, I think this is the one with some paper in here. Yeah, this fit was really loose. So I'll try not to, you can see that, a little paper in there. That's the one point. The other pieces I did not have to use paper. So, excuse me. So we have the dino skull on the bottom with dino face pointing downward. You plug that thigh bit, or not thigh, yeah, the thigh and then the waist connector in there. You have one of the bucklers, the shield, the face-looking things up at the front of the shin, and then you have another one on the side, and you just try to have it hug in the contour like that. And on the bottom, to create the foot, you have another one of the thighs. There are 4 P-Trexes here, so you have 1, 2 on each leg, and then you have the other 2 on the other ones. And you're just basically plugging this in and creating the toe with one of the thighs and creating the heel support with another one of the other aspect of the thigh, and just kind of plugging in right there to have extra stability, so to speak. So that's kind of it. And I know it's blurry, but anyway. So same thing on this side. Dude, my voice is really about to go right now. Same thing on this side over here. And like I said, you have the 2 axe bits like this, and then you are going to be plugging in the knee port of the P-Trex on the thigh. Up at the top over here. So you're going to connect one there, and then connect one here. And then you put that all together, and then now you have the lower half. The lower half. Cool. Now I'm going to put this guy to the side. Oh. This is important. At the top of that dark bit, you want to plug in the tail. And those are kind of become like the combining forks. They actually don't plug into anything, but they actually hug stuff. So yeah, those are like the combining forks. All right. Okay, some fun stuff going on over here, over hither. Get this guy in focus, Danielson. You guys know where that's from? That's from the original Karate Kid movie. So focus, Danielson. It's Mr. Miyagi. Pat Morita, rest in peace. Okay, so this is how it is. In terms of how this is made, the crux of this, the center portion actually was something that a channel member from back in the day taught me, and I honestly forget which video it was, and I actually forget who that person was. So if you're still watching on this channel, then hey, just want to let you know that your design and your your input has come a long way and helped me grow and build stuff. So I just want to say thank you, even though I have forgotten your name, so I apologize about that. Okay, so I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. All right. I'm just going to explain it. These these outer arms are basically extending down from this claw. You can see that, right? That port is plugged into the heel, the thumb, or whatever you want to call it, of that claw. That claw is pegging into the side fist hole or heel hole, or whatever you want to call it, of that claw. You see where it's plugged in right there, right? And this is plugged into the side of this dinosaur face. So technically, you can like peel it, and this is not plugged in here. It's just kind of the fingers are draping that little ridge part, so I think that's cool. But in reality, you can see this is just, yeah, all of that basically. So you can see claw, another claw plugged in but turned 90 degrees with the robot face plugged in, and then on the bottom you have the little calf and the other claw to plug in to become the arms. So importante. Over here, the second one is we have the frilly bit of the tail, right? And remember, we have 4 because it's 4 characters, so there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then what you're doing over here is you're just plugging in exactly like the other arm. You're plugging in the calf, the heel, as the shoulders, and it kind of juts out. It's a real cool design. You bring this down, and then on the bottom you have another tail, and then you have the claw plugged into the back to make this kind of like frilly thick forearm. I think that's really nice. So I'm gonna remove this too. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove the other parts now. So because we already kind of showed off how that worked. I hope I can put them back together, but I think I'm going to be able to do so. Alrighty then. So these frilly tail bits do not plug in at the top. They are plugging in at the bottom over here. And so in order to make this contraption, what you do is you have one dinosaur face with one robot face kind of plugged in on the back. But what's more important is you are threading the robot face through the jaw. Then you are plugging that into the underside of where the waist would normally connect. And you have this dino face inverted. I think that's a really, really cool Gestalt head for Paleotrex. One more time. You can take a look at it, right? This is plugged in here, and this is also plugged in here, so it's like a really nice clamped tight feel. And yeah. And then you got the frilly bits that you can kind of bend up over here. This bit is going to plug back here. And yeah, it's going to hug. Those claws are going to hug that ridge. And that is one arm. And then the second arm is, you know, maybe I should have done this first. Yeah, I should have done this first. Yeah, there you go. And after that, there we go. There we go. And then you can adjust it so that the peg from the robot head is sitting outside of that shoulder. And then we have that. But the Paleotrex heel is a little bit looser compared to Spindle. I would say that's the only thing that's more improved on Spindle is that that little dark connector port flexes back and forth on P-Trex a lot easier than it does on Spindle. Spindle has a lock on it, actually. And same thing for the heel. And so kudos for those particular improvements, but all the other QC issues, I would not exchange that. I would not take that in exchange for those. But yeah, fortunately, there's fixes for Spindle that you can do. I put together a video for it. So if you want to find that one, just go on my channel and go to the video section and look up Spindle, and you'll find it. And that hole right there is going to connect into that peg. And then these are going to hug the outside of the dino face, the tail bits. And then, yeah. And he has this kind of like tubby blade. Oh, it's all blurry right now. Yeah. But he has this bit of a tubby blade, which I really, really think is cool. Yeah. And so you fiddle with the fit and finish. Let's get them all cleaned up, as Bobby Skullface would say. Final thoughts. The great Bobby Skullface. Well, that's it. That is it. Maybe the exposure is a tad too high. Let me just kind of get him back in shot. All right, gang. And so that is a quadruple Paleotrex. You can obviously make it using 4 P-Trex molds. And so whether that's several transmutates or a Skelevore. And could you make this with 1 P-Trex and with the squad of 4? Yeah, you think you can. You'll have to make some changes though. I mean, squad of 4 including spindle, I mean. I think you'll have to make some changes because some of Spindle's parts, especially the blade, that frilly bit, and also the dinosaur face and the robot face connect a little bit differently. So, you'll need to make some modifications. I'm not sure if it actually work 100%. You could probably get some type of variation of it, yeah. So, once again, thank you so much for your patronage. Thank you for watching, and hang tight for some more great content coming your way very, very soon. Have a wonderful day, okay? Bye-bye.